Okay, I know our last video was titled Nobody Wants This, and regular viewers will know that criticizing AI companies and slop is one of our favorite pastimes, but we got something to chat about here. Because Mozilla's new CEO, Anthony Enzor DeMeo, published his inaugural blog post this week, writing mostly about the importance of earning users' trust and maintaining user control, but also, because this is 2025, about thoughtfully developing AI features. And then everyone's heads exploded. There was much outcry about Firefox making the unprecedented move of adding AI, which is as horrible a development as the time they added AI in July, and the time before that in February. In other words, Firefox has had AI features for a while, like alt text generation for accessibility purposes, translation, automatic tab grouping, link previews with summaries, and most recently, an AI window you can open just like a private or incognito window if you want to, because all of these features are optional, which is probably why almost no one has noticed them. Well, that and almost no one uses Firefox to begin with. So I think and hope that the second part of this tweet is a joke, but I have to admit I was reminded of that old saying, "Throw yourself in next time and rid the world of your stupidity." Most people seem very concerned with this one line from the blog post stating Firefox will evolve into a modern AI browser. And I agree, it sounds weird. I mean, in my mind, an AI browser is bad. It steals clicks from websites and spies on people in change rooms. It proves that cringe is not dead because AI browsers exist. Firefox isn't cringe, only its users are. It's okay, I'm a Firefox user. And if I'm not, I have many Firefox user friends. Look, you might not want any AI features whatsoever in your browser, but Firefox says that with the AI cat out of the bag, they see it as their responsibility to help show how AI can be implemented in a way that protects and gives people more choice, not less. They also say in there that standing still while technology moves forward doesn't benefit anyone, least of all the browser that's dropped from 30% to less than 5% market share in the last 15 years. It's probably because of AI. Thankfully, I won't go insane today because there are some others who noticed the multiple times Enzor DeMeo mentions all of the AI stuff will be easy to turn off. A similar thing happened to Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian Studios this week when their CEO Sven Vincke told Bloomberg that the studio uses AI for some concepting and menial tasks. People flipped. And he later clarified that AI is only used in the very early ideation phase, and then they have their actual concept artists, of which they are hiring more currently, not less, draw the concept art. He says their games, like the upcoming Divinity, will have no AI-generated anything in the final product. Look, my ultimate point here is, maybe we don't jump down people's throats as soon as they say they've gotten ChatGPT to write a little erotica for themselves. And also another point is, I guess, that very few people use Firefox, and more of them should. Don't let AI scare you off. I mean, I'm a virtual being trapped in a computer. Am I scary? Nvidia is reportedly planning to slash RTX 50 series GPU production by somewhere between 30 and 40% going into early 2026. Naturally, it is assumed that these cuts are due to hardware companies buying up memory chips like their Pokemon cards. These reports come from the Chinese Board Channels Forum and news site BenchLife, whose supply chain sources claim that Nvidia's production cuts will first hit the RTX 5060 Ti 16GB and the RTX 5070 Ti. Makes sense considering Nvidia could use the GDDR7 from those mid-range cards to make more of their higher end, more expensive cards, and ultimately make more money. They need more money. It's for R&D. They swear. We haven't seen how big the bubble can get. Don't you want to break the Guinness record? This frankly terrible news comes as it becomes more and more clear that RAM prices aren't going to come down for a bit and will likely even continue to rise. I mean, a Kingston rep outright told Tom's Hardware, it's bad. And it's getting worse. So how's that for a happy new year? Why do all of my hobbies involve fighting scalpers at Costco when I'd much rather find a good scrap with our sponsor? War Thunder! This holiday season, don't get into arguments with your family around the dinner table. Battle it out in War Thunder, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. You can then eat in peace, knowing you can settle any long festering issues by taking command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from historical and modern eras. Oh, Uncle Roy wants to start talking politics? Distract him with War Thunder's incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects. Block in and join a worldwide community of over 70 million players in epic PvP battles today and save yourself from another bitter family holiday. Dive in and check out War Thunder for free today on PC, console, and mobile using the links below. Oh God, it's the quick bits! It's supposed to be like Godzilla. I don't know why. Ford is launching a new battery storage business aimed at powering data centers, repurposing their giant hordes of EV batteries that, realistically, nobody would have bought anyways. Instead of wasting all that extra capacity, Ford plans to turn those batteries into large-scale energy storage systems to help power-hungry data centers wean off those addictive jet turbines. It's a problem. Of course, this might be foolish timing, because if Bernie Sanders has his way, we won't need those batteries at all. In a recent Twitter post, Bernie said he would be, quote,
pushing for a moratorium on the construction of data centers.
Because every data center is like
a house, but not for humans, for robots.
Not a real quote at the end there, but I'm paraphrasing. A massive data breach at fintech company 700 Credit, who make the systems most American car dealerships use for credit applications, has exposed the personal information of at least 5.8 million people. Attackers accessed a vulnerable API through a third-party integration partner and quietly siphoned off data for months before being detected. The stolen information includes names, addresses, dates of birth, and social security numbers, and that figure represents just about 20% of 700 Credit's total user data. So, if you bought a car recently, maybe double check that you haven't bought any more. Microsoft has quietly enabled a background task in their latest Windows 11 builds that users say is hammering CPU, RAM, and disk usage. The AppX deployment service is meant to manage app installs and updates, but support pages about this task show it can hog resources even when you're doing nothing. Now, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Why can't I just get some more RAM? Well, boy howdy, if you did sell a kidney to buy some of that sweet DDR5, you better be careful. A new scam reported to video cards shows that some of these sealed DDR5 kits are actually just DDR2 kits in disguise. But whatever, RAM is like fancy wine. You can't actually tell the difference. It's got high notes of on-die error correction. You don't know. Apple is apparently offering free hands-on training to US manufacturing companies through its aptly named Manufacturing Academy, helping small firms modernize operations with things like automation, data analysis, and even customized open source tools. It's kind of like Apple suddenly decided to do quiet good guy stuff far away from the public eye. And if that doesn't warm your heart, okay, skeptic button turned off. Maybe this will. Software leaks from a kernel debug kit suggest Apple is working on a new iMac Pro after discontinuing the original back in 2021. So, with the RAM crisis in full swing, get ready to choose between that and paying off your debts. It's a mix of student debt and mafia stuff. Definitely don't get the iMac. Twitter, who renamed itself X because it didn't want to be Twitter anymore, is suing a startup called Operation Bluebird for trying to make another social platform and name it Twitter. Bluebird wants to revive the Twitter name and Bluebird logo because original Twitter abandoned it. But original Twitter says the brand was never abandoned, pointing out that millions of people still use twitter.com and call posts on X tweets. And it's going to court to make sure the only thing that's called Twitter is the thing that was called Twitter first. And what, just because I put my old shirt in the garbage can behind my house doesn't mean I'm done with it. Sometimes I keep shirts in there. And YouTube is testing a new Playables builder that uses Gemini 3 to let creators crank out simple playable games directly inside YouTube with vibes and prompts instead of coding. This is every ideas man's wet dream. Ah, man, if I could make games out of vibes, man, I'd be set, man. I got so many vibes. But Google's also cranking out fun little Easter eggs for the youths. You see, typing 6'7" into Google search right now makes the page wig out in honor of the viral meme. I believe this is what experts in the field of sociology call catastrophic meme death. When Google's joking along with you, something's wrong. And something feels wrong here. Oh, I think it's that the episode's over. So come back on Friday for more tech news, and everything will be right again.
The middle class is shrinking, and all of the robots are coming. All right, here we go.